us Muslims have plan B, like seriously start thinking about making hijrah to the land of the Muslims?
With regards to making hijrah, all of the things that are happening, it's a very long discussion. We spoke on this in Masjid al-Ansar, the rulings of making hijrah. Is it mandatory to leave? Is it recommended to leave? Is it mandatory to stay? Is it recommended to stay? With all of the things that are taking place and happening, I would say yes and no. Yes and no. There are many things that are happening in America, that have happened in America, in Canada, in the UK, so on and so forth, which clearly proves that first and foremost, the dunya is not an eternal place for the believer, nor are certain countries. This country or cities or states or regions, this is not where a Muslim should be. That's in general. However, many things that have happened are isolated events. Not all, but many things. Many things. And there are some things which are clearly systematic programs. But there are some things which are isolated. If you look at all of the Muslims in Houston, Texas, how many of them were arrested, locked up? How many sisters were raped? How many brothers were prevented from traveling, from flying on airplanes, so on and so forth? If you look at the huge number of Muslims in Houston, Texas, the population, and then you look at the cases of harassment, of police brutality, so on and so forth, the number will be what? Extremely. And the same applies here to New York City. This case, that case, this brother was shot, this person was locked up, the police pulled him over, they harassed him. There's cases like this. This sister was abused, this imam was shot, but you look at how many mosques there are in Queens, New York. How many imams there are in Queens, New York? How many of them were killed? Everybody understand this? So it's not necessarily a systematic thing where, let's say, the people have to go. They're hunting Muslims. They're hunting imams. Any Muslim sister walks down the street outside with a hijab is going to get attacked on the subway. We can't say that. That's extreme, because that's not the case. And the dalil for this is the what? The numbers, the statistics. And not just the statistics from the kuffar, our statistics. My mother, my sister, my aunt, my daughter, my wife, so on and so forth. I have 10 women folk, and none of them were disrespected or abused. I've been to 10 mansions in Queens, New York, Fulan, Abu Fulan, and none of those imams were what? Shot in the back of the head. So I can't necessarily go to the extreme and say we have to leave Queens, we have to leave America, because everybody understand this? So that's not necessarily correct. The concept of if you're going to stay in America and live in America, the countries that don't allow you to make hijrah, the countries in which you can't leave, the trouble that would take place and what would happen if all of the Muslims said we're going to get up and go, the concept of if we're going to stay here, then there are certain things that should be done, that have to be done. It should not be a thing in which a Muslim sister is beat up or raped. Someone spits on her waliyadhu billah. An imam is shot in the back of the head waliyadhu billah. Somebody stabbed, for us to realize certain things that we have to establish. It's not enough to have a mosque and a house. And no, there should be certain things that are established. Muslim security, Muslim patrol. There should be a Muslim cab service. There should be no Muslim sister that has to get into a cab with a non-Muslim. That has to get into a cab by herself with another man. Why don't we have a system like this? Fulan and Fulana and his wife, they ride in a car together. It's a service. Anytime a sister needs a cab, she needs to go somewhere. They're from the masjid. They're established. They're known. It's tazkiyah on their character. It's no one-on-one. It's clearly 3 people in a car, and they drive around. Muslim security force. Why are they Muslim here at the masjid? Security at the masjid. Why does the imam have to get shot in the back of the head for there to be what? Security. And basic concept, being aware of your surroundings. Why doesn't every Muslim know how to defend him or herself? Not to be a master fighter and this and that, but basic self-defense. Somebody grab you from behind, someone try to do this, a knee, an elbow, this, that, mace, whatever. Hands, fists, knife, whatever. Basic self-defense. It shouldn't be an attack on someone for everyone to wake up. If you want to live in America, if you want to live in New York City, if you're a Muslim, and people know that you're a Muslim because of your race, because of your beard, your throat, whatever, there are basic things that you need to have. From them is being aware of your surroundings. From them is not to be deluded and delirious, thinking that this is a la-la land of paradise. There are people that hate you and hate everything that you stand for. Whether it's because of what you look like, your race, where you come from, your skin color, and that you're a Muslim, and they're trying to practice. They hate you, and they're jealous and envious and malicious. So it can't just be a thing, everybody's my friend, everybody's my neighbor, everybody's my coworker, everybody's buddy, happy. No. You don't have to be paranoid. You don't have to be thinking that there's nothing, but you have to be what? Aware of your surroundings. You should be able to defend yourself Every Muslim sister should have basic training in self-defense. Whatever it is, a headbutt, a knee, something to get an aggressor, a rapist, an attacker off of her, to call for help or to get away from her. Everybody. Every brother should have basic skills. Everybody understand this? I'm not a tough guy. I'm not building. I'm not like that, but I can a basic thing to get you off of me. Not somebody just come and just abuse me and kick me and stomp my teeth out. Muslims should have more businesses, more establishments, more self-sufficiency, more lack of dependence upon the kuffar. So this is something that's my advice. If we're not going to make hijrah, if you're going to live in these lands, then you have to change your what? Your lifestyle. Muslims should be known. Muslims should be respected. Why are you by yourself, yaqi, late at night? Why is your sister by herself late at night in this place and that place? It shouldn't be like this. And it shouldn't take a time in which somebody's oppressed, vandalized, for us to do what? Wake up. So that's my advice. Making hijrah, if you feel that you can make hijrah, and it's better for your deen, for your family, then that's what you should do. Whether it's mandatory or not. But everybody can't make hijrah. Everybody shouldn't make hijrah. Some people have to stay. Some people have to teach Islam. Some people have to manage the Muslims that are not going to leave, that can't leave if they wanted to. But those who can, and those who wish to better their Islamic lives, they should do so. If they feel it's going to get them what? Closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Obviously there are details. You may go make hijrah and your deen may plummet. You may be further away from the people of Islam, the people of the Sunnah. You may be depressed. You may be far from the masjids. You may get somewhere and you find out, whoa, this is not what I signed up for. This is not the hijrah that I expected. So there are details. But those who do have the money, those who do have the ability, those who do wish to live a basic life away from the alcohol, from the women, from the music, from the pedophilia, from the rapists, from the pornography, from the gambling, then that's what they should do. There lies no doubt about that. And many of the people now say the hijrah is mandatory. Wajib. And others, they say that it's recommended. And some say it's mandatory for those who fear their deen. I can't survive. I can't live being around these kuffar every day. I can't keep going to work. They laugh, they joke, they backbite, they do this, they listen to this, they drink that. They make zina. Their whole lives parties, parties, parties. I can't be around that. My children can't keep going to school with them. If that's what you feel, and you've reached that level, then no doubt you need to run with your deen and run to Allah, as Allah tells us in the Quran. فَفِرُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ. Run to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahu alam. Follow.
I have an oil made, a hat's made of saffron, or has saffron in it, has color, and it has a scent. Should I not use it?
You should avoid it.
Could I give it to my wife or my mother?
It's permissible for them to use. Za'faran, saffron, permissible to use. Labas. You can cook with it. You can do different things.